Hey everybody, welcome to the When in Seoul Podcast. It is I, Danny Cho.
Hey Danny Cho.
I don't know how to intro the podcast.
We'll get it.
Because it always sounds kind of douchey for me to be like, it is, it's Danny Cho or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to say, no, it is not douchey, Danny.
I know you were trying to invoke that out of me.
And you didn't give it to me. All right, awesome. Okay. And Bobby here is to my right. Bobby sounds a little different because he is feeling the effects of the yellow dust here in Korea.
Yes, I made the mistake of leaving all my window open.
All my window. You only got one.
I left my window wide open yesterday as well as my balcony door. Mm-hmm. And I just let all the yellow dust circulate within my apartment. Mm-hmm. And today I'm feeling the effects of it and just very, very stuffy.
Yeah.
So I'll be blowing my nose every now and then, and you'll have to take the mic and be entertaining without me.
Well, that's easy. What do you think I've been doing for the last other episodes?
Well, today, what were we talking about today?
We're talking about music in Korea.
Music in Korea.
I know it's kind of general, you know what I mean? But it's not just going to be about K-pop. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be just about hip-hop. I mean, Bobby, you are a musician here.
So they say, and I'm not a very successful one at that, but I am a musician. And you and I are both living in a land where music is taken very seriously.
Yeah.
We know this because through the media and through a lot of television shows based on music. Mm-hmm. They have like Hidden Singer, like they have all these idol shows. What do you call it? The Kayo stuff and audition shows. Just like I feel like it's endless.
Yeah, there's one where it's like they're in masks.
Yeah,
and then you have to vote for who sings the best. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if they sing better, then they will not reveal their mask.
Right.
But if they lose, then they have to reveal their mask, and it's usually someone that's not a, it's a surprise usually.
Yeah.
There's another one where
I never know who they are, so that
because you don't know any of the
old school singers and stuff like that. There's another one called Sugar Man.
Yeah.
And they bring out old school singers. We had our friend come out on that show, Jay. Kasu Jay.
Yeah.
That was cool. But that's the only episode I ever watched. And then there's another show where they do busking called Begin Again.
Yeah.
Which is more up my alley.
Yeah.
Because I like to see them struggle like I struggle. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I mean, like, I feel like music is something Koreans love music. I mean, who doesn't really? But I feel like it's very ingrained in the culture. Like
it's huge. Yeah. I mean, like just think about all the norebangs that exist. All the 노래 연습실's, which is basically a karaoke.
Right.
On every corner.
Yeah.
If that, not even, maybe there's even more sometimes. So, and I always wondered, like, why, Because singing makes you feel good.
Yeah. I mean, you know how I knew that Koreans love singing is because like my mom, especially my dad, right? Mm-hmm. Like, let's say he's doing something, a task.
Okay.
And he'll sing, not like out loud, but he'll like sing under his breath, like not a song that you and I know.
Okay.
Like he's singing like what he's doing.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean?
Not like an old folk song?
No. He's like, 나 지금 손 닦고 있다. Right? Like, it's almost like a musical of his life, you know what I mean? Right. And I go, oh, man, but my dad can't sing. So I'm like, so I think Koreans just whether it's sad or happy or whatever, they just go to singing.
And the Koreans that can't sing, and you go to norebang with them, are the most entertaining.
Yeah.
Singers at karaoke.
They have a show like that also. It's called I Can See Your Voice.
Okay.
Right? And so what it is it's like 4 or 5, like there's a bunch of people, right? And then there's one celebrity guest, and that celebrity guest has to guess whether or not they can sing or not.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So on one round it'll be them lip syncing everything, and they'll be like, all right, that contestant over there, that fool can't sing, and then they check, and then the ultimate. So whoever lasts to the end has to do a duet with the celebrity guest, who's a singer, usually, right? And so, and a lot of times it's funny when they're wrong. You know what I mean? And they're trying to do a duet of their classic song.
That sounds actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah, but the dude can't, or he or she can't sing, so it's just ruining the duet, right? You know what I mean? But
I saw that a show like that where it's kind of like Guitar Hero, where you have to hit the notes right.
Oh yeah.
And you get scored.
Yeah.
You get scores doing that, right?
Yeah.
And so, what did I see? I think I saw because I'm friends with Igi-chan. He's a singer in Korea, and he was on that show. I think I saw him, and he failed at singing his own song. For me, it was funny, but then I was like, oh, that's kind of sad.
You can't hit the notes no more.
That's a tough show to be on.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But he's an amazing singer. Maybe like it wasn't his day or something. Maybe it wasn't Igi-chan. It was Igi-chan. Yeah.
It's a yellow dust. Yellow dust. Let's chalk it up to yellow dust. Yeah, so, I mean, there's so much about music we can talk about, but I think we should just talk about the one of the, in-your-face topics is K-pop. You know what I mean?
If we must.
We must. I mean, quite personally, I'm not knowledgeable about K-pop.
Yeah.
This is going to sound a little creepy, but I only watch girl group music videos, but I put them on mute because they look cute.
Oh, my goodness.
Right?
It doesn't sound a little bit creepy. It sounds a lot more than that. So
yeah, but even when I was younger, when I was a kid, like K-pop trickled into the U.S. You know what I mean? So especially for Korean Americans, we would hear about groups like H.O.T. or
even I did, and I had no connection back to the mainland.
Yeah.
And so, even I knew about H.O.T., I knew about Solid, like all these Turbo. I know this sounds like we're just naming laundry detergents, but
Solid and Turbo.
But
it gets the stains out, Turbo does.
Yeah.
No, but and the thing is now, and a handful of those people that were celebrities when we were younger.
Yeah.
Some of them were from the States.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned the group Solid. They're like a old school R&B group. Think of like if you guys are familiar with Boyz II Men in the States. They were like the Korean version of Boyz II Men, except they only had 3 people.
Yeah.
I
mean, they were kind of an early boy band, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And then, it's like a boy band, and then you have, one of the guys go off and do a solo career.
Yeah.
That would be Kim Jong-un,
Yeah. He's the Wanye of the boys of Solid.
Right.
No, and then, it was funny because they recently had a comeback.
Yeah. Ooh,
yeah, baby.
Just to remind everyone, I really am a singer. And that was me trying my best.
Yellow dust. Right. No, it was funny because we went to their, they released an album after what?
20 years.
20 years, right?
20 years.
And so it was so crazy to see that their old fans, who I assumed were like kids when they started listening to them. Yeah. Now they have babies. Like there was this one lady that came full blown pregnant. Like she's about to pop soon.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, and she came with her husband and she was like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant, and then the husband's like, oh, our son's going to be named Ijun is with one of the guys there. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, why would you even say that in public? You know what I mean? Because clearly she wasn't thinking about you, the husband, when the baby was conceived. Dummy. Right. That was kind of weird, but anyway, K-pop,
Wait, let's go back a little. A funny thing about that night was, we were put on the guest list for that night.
Oh yeah.
We showed up. They were playing at the Hyundai Understage. Right, and so we had to go pick up our comp tickets. Yeah. Right, and so as soon as we get there are 3 different lines based on, think of it this way. It was in Korean, but it obviously was set in Korean. This line is from A to F. Yeah. This line is from, and so on. Yeah. And so...
but not A to F. It was Kyuk to
Right.
Neon or whatever, you know what I mean?
And so for me, I'm just like, my Korean alphabet knowledge and all that is pretty bad.
Yeah, mine too.
So it's just like, wait a minute. How are we going to navigate through that? Which line do we get in? You know? So I was just like, all right, so 기억 니건 니건 like Leo.
Negan, what are you, like Walking Dead fan over here? Right? No, and then I was like, wait, Bobby? Is it under Bobby or is it under Choi? You know what I mean? Like, you know?
It was so frustrating, but thankfully somebody recognized us and they're like, oh, just get on any line.
Yeah.
they're like
yeah, I was like, oh man, you know what? You're right. I would have been lost. I would have had to like look it up on the phone and be like, oh, I'm in line 2 if nobody figured it out. You know.
Thankfully, we got in.
Yeah.
And it was fun though.
Yeah.
Like, it was good to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, K-pop to me, when I was a kid, I only thought Koreans listened to it. You know, but as you know, I got older, I see that. Not just Koreans listen to K-pop now. Like these days, like it's all over the world. A lot of people all over the world listen to it.
Right. Yeah.
And to be honest, in the beginning, I always thought of them as weirdos. You know, like non-Koreans that listen to K-pop.
Yeah.
But now it's being so normalized. You know what I mean? Like there's this group BTS.
They're like the biggest thing now.
Right now, yeah. So
or was it EXO?
They used to be big.
They used to.
I mean, they're
big.
still big.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But like BTS, like they went on Ellen. They won like the Billboard. Like 2017, they won like awards at the Billboard Awards and like, the Teen Choice Awards. Like, and these are all like Western, more American, and like global award shows. You know. And so I was like, what the heck? And to be honest, like BTS to us Kyopos, BTS stands for burning tongkomong sensation, which means like, when you eat something spicy and then it comes out, burning, tongkomong is your butthole in Korean, by the way. But BTS actually stands for 방탄소년단, which means something like bulletproof boys or something like that.
Okay.
Right? But to us, it stands for burning tongkomong sensation, right? And I didn't listen to their music, so I just thought they were like this like parody group, like like a comic, parody group. Yeah. And then their song titles really didn't help with changing my thoughts on that, because their song's title was like, track title was like Help Me. Or Fire. Okay. Or like Blood, Sweat, and Tears, right? I'm like, yo, kids, you know what I mean? Like, stop eating spicy stuff, drink some milk, You guys are too young to be feeling the effects of this, Right. And so, yeah, BTS, but they're killing it, man. Like, they're all over the place,
Well, I used to be an English coach for a group called B.A.P. And I didn't know... Pop, yeah, I guess. I don't know if that's what they're called, bop heads or something. But B.A.P. stands for Best Absolute Perfect. Ooh. So, I didn't know that.
You shouldn't know that.
Yeah. But I don't know where that comes from. I wish they would, do a double check with...
They should have hired you before they named the group.
Yeah, maybe.
Right. No, but remember, like, but that goes back to even the HOT days. HOT stood for High Five of Teenagers.
That's true, yeah. Keeping the tradition alive.
Yeah, of just terrible names, right? Like, Finkel, the girl group, was Fine Killing Liberty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird, okay.
Yeah. I think GOD was Groove Overdose, which isn't that bad.
What does Psy stand for?
I have no idea.
That's just his name, right?
Yeah, well...
That's not his real name.
No, of course, it can't be his real name, yeah.
Psy, it's Psy.
Psy. But, even speaking of Psy, I think that was the first dude to really, really blow K-pop into the mainstream, like, Western audience. Because, like, at one point, I don't think it is anymore, but it was the most watched video, his music video, Gangnam Style, was the most watched video on YouTube.
Yeah, the first to reach 1 billion views.
Yeah.
Right? And now they have, like, views, like, it's way past, like, 10 billion and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, but he was the first to do that, so it was a big deal. I remember.
Yeah, and then like he was, performing all over the world, with that song. So truly, I feel like, there were people before him, obviously, that performed internationally or whatever. But I think Psy kind of pushed it to the mainstream market. I mean, because I heard it on Kiss FM back home, and I was like, I rarely hear you never hear like K-pop in American pop like radio channels, But then when I heard it on Kiss FM, I was like, oh, this is huge.
It's big.
And so
it was in Korean. I'm glad that there wasn't like an English version.
Yeah.
Like they stuck with the Korean.
Yeah. Your brother's Gangnam Style. That's what oppa means, just in case you didn't know what that meant. But yeah, I mean, K-pop, you been living here for a long time, so but K-pop is definitely not your genre that you work in.
Not at all, yeah.
But you have met a lot of K-pop folks out here.
Yeah, funny enough, when I first moved here for about a year, or was it two seasons, I was on a show called K-Popular with As One. As One was also a group early 2000s.
Yeah.
They would kill me.
Yeah.
If they were going to say that.
Hey, what up, Crystal and Min? Bobby said you were active in the 80s.
So, As One was a Korean American. They're couples.
Yeah, they're
right?
duos. Yeah. A duet, duo, Korean American females.
Yeah, and I believe the solid guys brought them over, right? Or Jay produced them.
Yeah, maybe.
Or anyway, so they were big back in the day.
Yeah,
and they had their own K-pop show on the radio here, and so I was a weekly guest. They did a segment every week with different guests that came in, and for me, for some reason they thought I was an actor because they had seen me in the web series K-Town Cowboys.
Boom.
Yeah, which you forced me to act in.
Yes.
Because you couldn't find an actor to work for free. So
that, and also I wrote it with you in mind, buddy.
Yeah, I remember you saying, "Yeah, you got to be in this," and I was like, "No, I don't. I'm not an actor." And then you're like, "Yeah, you got to do it. No one wants to do it for free." And so, and then I don't know, like 5 years later, I found myself in Korea, and Crystal hits me up after we hung out a couple times. They were like, "Yeah, so we want you to come in. We want to do this segment where we do skits and we pretend we act out scenes and stuff." I was like, "All right, well that sounds interesting." And so the first day I show up for the show and we're talking and stuff, and they're like, "What are you up to?" I was like, "Oh, well, I'm getting ready to release my album." And they're like, "You're a musician?" I was like, "It's like, yeah." It's like, it's like, "We thought you were an actor, like, because of K-Town Cowboys." And I was like, "No, I'm not an actor." Just like kind of told them what happened. And they're like, "Why are we doing this segment?" It's like, that's what I was wondering. So what happened was we turned that segment into me learning about K-pop. And it was actually really interesting because it's a K-pop show. And I was basically, it was better because I came in with no knowledge at all, and every week I would talk about a topic as a newbie. And so it was interesting where they would educate me, and we talk about, like, this week's topic would be K-pop boy band. Next week would be girl band. Yeah. Next week would be female solo artist. Stuff like that. So it was just endless, as you could tell. I mean, as you could probably guess. But
was there something that you given that you didn't know much K-pop?
Yeah.
Was there a group or two that or a person that you were like, whoa, they're really good, or he or she's really good?
Well, yeah, like I remember, was it Hyorin? Like, she's got like this powerful voice, and the first time I heard her, I was like, wow, like she's pure talent, like stuff like that. And then, but when I first came in, they were like, hey, just bring in also a list of songs that you want to hear for the week. And the first week, I was like, I'll tell you what I know, and so I brought in like 호랑나비,
which is like not K-pop.
yeah. And they're like, oh, well, that's not what we meant, really.
Yeah.
So they put like, apparently there was a remix, a K-pop remix of that song. They're like, we'll play this though.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, whatever. So, it was fun though, and I became good friends with them. And so I had a lot of funny instances of meeting K-pop stars in Korea. I don't know if we talked about this before, but I met a K-pop singer named Jung.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it on the show.
Oh, we did? Okay. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so...
Well, to kind of set it up, Jung, for those that don't know, she's kind of like considered the Madonna of Korea. Not the religious figure, but the singer.
Yeah, I of course I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so, but I was invited to a birthday party one night, and a lot of famous people ended up being there. I just didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
Except for Daniel Henney.
Yeah.
Daniel Henney was at the dinner.
Because who doesn't know Daniel Henney, that good-looking dude?
And he's
right
also Kyopo, right?
Yeah.
And so we're at dinner, and this older woman is there as well. Mm-hmm. And I saw her. She's really, really pretty, actually. Mm-hmm. And right away, I was like, oh, she's a hachuma.
Hot ajuma, yes.
But anyway, we had dinner. It was a really nice dinner. Then afterwards, they suggested, let's go to a norebang. Mm-hmm. So we went to a karaoke, and we were all seated like in a U-shaped room. Seated room, yeah. And then I ended up sitting right next to this hachuma. Mm-hmm. And, I didn't want to be rude, so I tried to strike up a conversation. We're talking, and I'm like, oh, I just moved to Korea. What do you do? And she's like, oh, I'm a singer. And I was like, I'm a singer. How funny. And so I had I had a CD on me. Mm-hmm. So I pulled out a CD of mine, and I was like, oh, here's my CD. Please take this as a gift. So here I am, like, giving my CD to basically the Madonna of Korea. Yeah. And I don't know this, so I was just like...
we should collaborate.
And so she ends up singing a song. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like forcing her to sing a song, but they're saying it all in Korean. At this point, my Korean was really bad. I didn't realize what was going on. And she sings a song like really well. Yeah. And then after the song was done, I was like, oh, wow, you have an amazing voice. You sang that really well. Yeah. And then someone like across the room was like, Bobby, that was her song. She's like a famous singer in Korea. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And then what continued to happen was like everyone in that room, they're passing the mic. Yeah. Everyone has to sing a song. Yeah. And so everyone just had amazing voices, like just killing it, right? There was another girl there, Claudia, I think. Mm-hmm. She's like an actor now. She was in Avengers.
The Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was there. Yeah. And she had just moved to Korea or something like that. She wasn't signed or anything at the time. And I remember her singing a song, and everyone was like, wow, this really pretty girl, is talented, sings like and there's all these like agents in the room and like celebrities, and I was like, someone sign her, all that stuff. And I was like, wow, this is like a crazy room, you know?
It's a Korean Idol. And
then so someone is like, all right, Bobby has to sing. Bobby's a singer. So I was like, oh my gosh, no, this is not happening. Yeah. I was like, I'm more of a singer. I'm more of a songwriter. And I'm just terrible at karaoke. The reason why I write songs is because I can't sing other people's songs, Yeah. And so somebody puts in a song for me because I can't choose. I'm just like, so they put in like a Coldplay song. And I was just like, oh no, I just like started singing it. And people were at first very enthusiastic. Yeah. They're like ready to hear me sing, and then I start singing, and then like people literally within 30 seconds lost interest. I think a couple of people went to the bathroom.
This is nice fruit they have here at this norebang, right?
Yeah, needless to say, no one said, sign that guy. Right? I felt so uncomfortable, you know. I went home after that, so it was a little sad. I walked home very sad.
Hey, but you know what? You might never know. Jung might still have your CD and is using it as a coaster somewhere. You know what I mean?
I have some really funny stories meeting a lot of... Actually, I met Lee Hyori as well.
Yes.
I knew who she was.
Okay.
Because she was able to get some attention, at least in America.
For being like the prettiest girl.
I remember
like
at some point.
She's actually the prettiest Korean girl that in my mind, if I had to go, who's the prettiest girl in your lifetime? It might be Lee Hyori.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if you don't know, she's on the Netflix show Hyori's Bed and Breakfast, so you can check her out. Although she's not, I mean, she's a bit older, but she's still hot, you know?
Yeah, she's like a minimalist.
Yeah.
She's into yoga and stuff. She's like a very almost hipster kind of girl, really cool.
Yeah.
But I met her like maybe a couple years into living in Seoul because she does these charity events for animal rights. And so I think she met her husband at the same event.
Oh, wow.
I just, at the event, the year before she met her husband, I was told. But anyway, the next year, they asked me to perform at it. Someone asked me, one of the event organizers, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. You know, it's charity, it's Ihori, you know, like, yeah, I would love to do it. I did it, and so there was no pay involved because it was charity, you know. And then I ended up performing there, and then they did a raffle. They're like, Bobby, we can't pay you, but take some raffle tickets, you know. I think it was just one raffle ticket.
Oh, wow.
So she Hyori was the one pulling the raffle tickets in the beginning. So the first one she pulls out was mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, I don't get paid, but I get to meet Hyori, and I won a bunch of dog food.
But you don't have any pets.
Yeah.
All right.
I won a lot of like dog toys and stuff like that. So I was able to give that to some friends that own dogs.
Right.
But and at the very end, while she was leaving, you know, I happened to be in the hallway trying to get through the opposite way, and we were walking towards each other, and her dog just like sprinted out in my way, and I tripped. And then, so yeah, I almost like broke my neck because of her dog. So it was just like.
And did Ihori tell the dog, "Are you okay?"
She told the dog, "Are you okay?" Not me. She apologized though. It was very nice of her.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, we also had one run-in with when I moved out here. It was around Thanksgiving here, and we ran into we were at a friend's like Thanksgiving dinner at a restaurant, and then we had a girl named Jessica, formerly from the group Girls' Generation.
Oh yeah,
Sonoshide.
that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was so funny because I knew who she was, but I'm not gonna like. I just really don't get like starstruck. You know what I mean? So
okay. And
I mean, I'm familiar with that group because I've watched their music videos on mute many times. Right? And also Jessica's from the States. You know?
Yeah.
And so
her English was perfect.
Yeah, because she's from San Francisco, I believe.
Yeah.
And you were chatting it up with her.
And thanks for the heads up. Like, I didn't know who she was. The whole time I'm talking, I'm like inquiring, oh, so what do you do? And stuff like that. And
I'm an art director.
Yeah, she said she was an art director.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting. And like, she was like in New York. And I was like, I'm from New York and all. And then I think her friend that she was with was getting a little annoyed that I didn't know who she was.
Right.
So finally he was like, she's actually a really famous singer in Korea. Like, kind of annoyed, I think. Yeah. And she's in a group called Girls' Generation. I was like, oh, I know Girls' Generation.
Yeah.
But then I was like, but this whole time she was saying she was doing other stuff, so that must mean she was the one that left.
Yeah.
It was just kind of weird. I don't know. So I don't know the situation. I don't know if it was amicable or whatnot. So I didn't want to pry at that point. So It was weird, but it was weird that she left right after that.
Yeah, so you...
I felt bad.
So you think you hurt her feelings that you didn't recognize who she was?
I hope not. I hope that's not what the case was.
And then her and her friends didn't pay either?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was something to note. Everyone was like, "Oh, they just kind of drank and ate and then
And left. Yeah.
And here I am, the vegan,
Yeah.
and I didn't eat anything, I didn't drink anything, and I'm paying for them.
Yeah.
So
that was kind of boo-boo.
Boo.
Yeah, boo-boo. But yeah, I mean, look, there's so much we can talk about when it comes to music here. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry. Today we kind of went off on a tangent about our personal stories about stuff, but
But I think that's more interesting than going, well, in 1996, this album came out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think
That's
that's
true, yeah.
This is more interesting. You know, I think we can break this up to another episode, to be honest, you know,
Yeah.
because like we haven't even covered like the hip hop scene here.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's so much more to talk
Yeah.
about. Actually, we could just do a podcast on music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then,
talk about it after this.
yeah. And even we haven't gotten to your genre of music, your bread and butter of like the singer-songwriter,
The indie scene, the reason why I moved to Korea,
yeah, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for listening to the When in Seoul podcast, guys. We actually have an Instagram account.
That's right.
Yeah.
I saw that we have an Instagram account, and so yeah, please follow us there, and you'll know it's us by the new. There's like a illustration of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Korea still uses Microsoft Paint. Because
Yeah.
that was awful. Like and it wasn't the powers that be made
Yeah.
it. It wasn't our art skills or our direction. You know what I mean?
But it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like it's so bad that I like it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think we should stick with it. I think it's really, really kind of kitsch. Or like,
Kitsch is the word.
I don't know.
I have a word that rhymes with it, but so yeah, follow us on peninsulapod on Instagram. Also, if you have any questions, comments, or maybe suggestions on other things that we can talk about, you can email us at peninsulapod@gmail.com.